Under the scorching lights of the WNBA's relentless summer schedule, a team fights not only fatigue, not only the pressures of expectation, but the cruel weight of injury and disappointment. This, right now, is the story of the Indiana Fever, a story that stretches across 2 nights, 2 cities, and one name that echoes louder than any buzzer: Caitlin Clark. The Fever marched into June 27 with heavy legs and heavier hearts. Less than 24 hours earlier, they had battled valiantly at home against the Los Angeles Sparks. But the battle ended in defeat, 85-75, as the crowd at Gainbridge Fieldhouse watched a familiar spark missing not just from the scoreboard, but from the court itself. That spark, that singular force, was nowhere in sight. Because Caitlin Clark, rookie phenom, media magnet, icon in the making, sat on the sidelines, sidelined by a groin injury that stopped hearts across Indiana. And as the Fever boarded their flight to Dallas, heading into a road clash against the Dallas Wings, the whispers grew louder. Would Clark suit up? Would her competitive fire overcome the limits of her body? Would she rise again, in the heat of a back-to-back, to lift her team once more? But when the sun rose over Texas, the truth arrived not as a roar, but as a sigh. Caitlin Clark would not play. The Fever confirmed on the morning of June 27 that the superstar guard would miss her 2nd consecutive game, still nursing that groin injury that silenced an arena. And just like that, the team was tasked with answering the question every great team must face at some point in their story: who are we without our star? Because this team, still so young, still so hungry, is more than one name. It's a collection of athletes who have clawed through defeat and scrutiny. It's a team learning how to win together. But now, in the heat of summer, with their brightest light dimmed, they were forced to find answers without their guiding star. The challenge was steep. Dallas, playing on their home court, loomed as a formidable opponent, eager to exploit the absence of Clark. And make no mistake, opponents smell blood when a generational player sits. Defensive schemes shift, confidence surges, opportunity knocks. But for the Fever, it was about more than X and O's. It was about pride. About identity. About showing the world that the Indiana Fever don't fall silent when Caitlin Clark sits, they rise. Nalissa Smith, with her explosive rebounding and paint presence, knew she'd have to carry more weight. Kelsey Mitchell, the seasoned scorer, understood that the perimeter game would demand her best. Aliyah Boston, already an all-star in her young career, embraced the burden of leadership, knowing that the ball, and the expectations, would pass through her hands more than ever. These weren't just players. These were warriors entering a back-to-back battle, tired bodies and all. No time to rest. No time to regroup. Just time to compete. And yet, underneath the surface of game plans and rotations, a larger story brewed. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's a phenomenon. Her absence ripples across more than just box scores. It shakes attendance numbers. It alters national headlines. It reshapes TV schedules. She is the gravity around which the WNBA has begun to orbit, and when gravity is removed, everything shifts. Even opposing crowds feel her absence. In Dallas, fans arrived hoping, praying, to see the player who's redefined rookie hype. Instead, they were greeted with reality. But this reality isn't bleak, it's raw. It's real. It's part of the journey. Because injuries are part of every legend's story. Michael Jordan missed games. So did Diana Taurasi. So did every icon who has ever laced up sneakers and chased greatness. Caitlin Clark, despite the highlight reels and the record-breaking college career, is not immune to pain. She is human, and in that humanity lies her strength. The Indiana Fever, meanwhile, have no choice but to grow. To evolve. To discover depths they didn't know they had. And that, perhaps, is the hidden gift in adversity. The growth of a team is never linear. It's forged in back-to-backs. In quiet plane rides after losses. In huddles where no superstar speaks, just teammates. In games where the crowd sighs, not roars. In moments where victory feels distant, but belief remains close. Yes, June 27 will go down as another game Clark didn't play. But perhaps, just perhaps, it will also be remembered as the night someone else rose. Maybe Mitchell goes off for 30. Maybe Boston commands the post with fury. Maybe Lexi Hull hits a dagger 3. Or maybe they lose. And that, too, is part of the story. Because resilience isn't about winning every night. It's about showing up. It's about lacing up even when the odds tilt. It's about walking into Dallas knowing the road is hard, and still walking anyway. And somewhere, on the bench or back in Indianapolis, Caitlin Clark watches. She feels the sting of absence, the ache of rest. She wants to play. You can see it in her eyes every time the camera finds her. Her fire isn't dimmed, it's banked. It waits. Because she will return. And when she does, it won't just be about one player coming back. It will be about a team that found itself in her absence. It will be about teammates who stepped forward when the spotlight shifted. It will be about a locker room that stayed together, against fatigue, against pain, against defeat. This back-to-back will fade into memory for some. But for the Fever, it will be a marker. A turning point. A test. A fire. And as for Caitlin Clark, her story isn't paused. It's being written, even now, in rehab rooms and ice baths, in film sessions and whispered encouragements. When she returns, she'll be sharper, smarter, hungrier. But more than that, she'll return to a team that didn't stop believing. A team that didn't fall apart when she fell to injury. That's the story that matters most. Not just one of a star missing 2 games. But of a team refusing to go missing in her absence. So let June 27th stand. Not as a symbol of loss, but of growth. Not as a night without Caitlin Clark, but as a chapter in the legend of a team learning to soar. The Indiana Fever are not done. Not now. Not ever. They play on.